Jurgen, it's the final game before a long international break. Does that make any difference to you? You don't have to maybe substitute players early. You can give absolutely everything because you know that you haven't got a game for a couple of weeks.
I don't have a game for a couple of weeks. The boys have 3 games. So I don't make subs because I don't play. But I don't plan subs before the game. So we react usually on the situation in the game. No, has no influence, obviously. If we all would have holiday afterwards, then it would be slightly different, but the boys don't have. They go, I think, 4 days later, they have to play pretty much all over the world again. In between, they have quite interesting trips to do. So that's like 30 hours on the flying from one point to another and then to another and then to another until they are the final destination. So nope, I make the decisions because of the needs in the game.
Okay, fantastic. Simon Mullock with the next question, then we'll go to Connor Dunn and then Russell. Simon.
Hi, Jurgen. Sir Alex Ferguson used to say that after he'd won a title with Manchester United, when they returned for pre-season, he would look into the eyes of his players and see whether that same hunger was still there. I mean, Liverpool's intensity over the opening match of the season has been incredible. Obviously, you work with the players every day. Is that hunger and intensity, is that still the same as it was this time last season?
That's what he always did. How often did he win the title? 13 times or so?
Yeah.
And he came always back in pre-season, looked in the eyes and saw still the hunger. I wish I would have.
He wanted to see whether that hunger was still there. Do you still see that?
Incredible. And I wish I would have Alex Ferguson's eyes, obviously. So, but so we did. I didn't check it, but we agreed a bit longer ago that we try to make this the best time of our lives, as long as we are together, and that's what we are still doing. So I'm not in doubt about the desire and the hunger of my boys, because it's a little bit my job as well to keep that going. And I know myself long enough that I know that I can't do it differently, and so that means we are on the safe side. I would say that if we don't succeed, it will not be because we don't want it with all we have. Then there can be other teams, they can be better. That's in football and life like this, but it's not because of hunger or desire or greed or whatever. No, we are still in the right mood.
Fantastic. Okay, now we'll go to Connor and then we'll finish with Russell. Connor.
Hello. Another one on Ryan Brewster. Obviously, the deal isn't completed yet. But as I understand it, Liverpool are going to have a buyback clause that lasts 3 years to kind of watch him develop and see what moves to make next of him. So I'm just kind of wondering what Julian Ward's role is in that and what kind of information he'll be providing you and just how important that is to keep a track of all the players that are on loan or away from the club.
The last part of your question I didn't understand. Honestly, it was a bit quick.
Julian Ward, in his role, the players who go out on loan, a little bit different with Ryan. He referred to a clause which obviously we wouldn't comment on because it's private. But in terms of Julian's role, players
okay.
who we either
Good. Now I got it.
Yeah.
I lost it when you said Julian Ward. Who is Julian Ward? That's a joke. So now it's obviously very, very important. Really very important role, and we work really closely together. And so if you have to go on loan, the best thing what can happen, you have a contract with Liverpool, because then Jules is looking after you. Let me say it like this: he travels a lot, so he used to travel a lot when traveling was allowed. And they're really in constant contact. And I'm pretty sure if you would ask the players themselves, they would say the same. So that's really on a personal basis, really good. On a professional basis, we try to make sure before we give a player on loan, really as much as we can to find the right club, That's very, very important. I wish I could have. I would in Germany. I know more coaches, so better. So here I don't know that many. So that's and then, so that's sometimes for me a bit tricky to make these decisions on the way of football they play and stuff like that. But Jules, yeah, it's an incredible job. That's true, and so that's very, very helpful for us and for the players as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Connor. And bringing the festivities to an end is Russell Stoddart with the final question of this particular section. Russell.
Hi, Jurgen. I think a lot of people might have been surprised to see Virgil playing in the Carabao Cup with such demands that we've got, the hectic schedule we've got this season. Is he one of those players that just wants to play every game? And will at some point during this season, will you have to sort of ration the games that Virgil and other players have to play?
Actually, most of the boys want to play each game, so or even more. Yes, Virgil was absolutely had no problem, but the specific situation gave us a little bit, or brought us in a situation where we needed just our big guns, if you want. Imagine now with my image as a cup ignoring whatever manager, I would have played last night with 2 kids in the last line, and that would have been really the discussions. This press conference would have been completely different probably, but that was not a reason as well. But just we had really only the need, and 45 minutes or 60 minutes last night. The actual plan was 45 minutes. That's no problem. It's the intensity of the game is really the longer it goes and stuff like this. When you're in the 80th minute, you have to still make a sprint. That's where it gets really intense. Until then, it's not a problem at all. And so that's why we made the decision. That's how it is. But Joel injured, and Fabinho was not really planned to play. I really liked a lot what Reece Williams did last night. It looked really good. Billy could have played as well, but he was slightly injured. And then, how I said, with 2 kids in the last line, it was a bit too tricky. How I said, we wanted to win the game, and we could have, but we didn't. No, it was just possible, and that's why we did it.
He's such an important player, though, isn't it, that you have to sort of ration these opportunities, these appearances.
Sorry?
Russell thinks you should ration the opportunities for...
What's a ration?
Ration, as in not playing as much. Is that fair, Russell?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that he's such an important player that in the back of your mind, because there's so many games back to back, isn't there, that, you know, you don't want to play him too much.
No. Oh, definitely. But look, that's with all my players like this. I know what you mean, Virgil, the center of the defense, stuff like this. You're 100% right, and I'm happy nothing happened. But the situation, how I said, we don't make the fixtures. We get the fixtures and we play. And sometimes we have the choice between 6-7 players for 2 positions, and sometimes we don't have. And when we don't have them, then there are no solutions, no perfect solutions. And last night we thought that's the best possible solution, and that's why we did it.